What is up, YouTube? Jamie the Kid00 here, coming to you guys with another deck profile. A lot of you guys have been asking me to build this, and I didn't actually think I was going to be, but today I'm going to be very happy to bring you guys my first Kozmo list. Judging by the price hype on Farm Girls, I didn't think I was going to pick this deck up, but at the Brotherhood, I just kind of went on a bit of a retail therapy binge, picked up a few things, including this and the Red Eyes deck, so maybe I'll have a few nice deck profiles for you in the future. But for the first one, I'm going to be bringing you guys Kozmo. This is going to be a very hyper-aggressive build of the deck. I also have a trap version, so if you guys want me to profile that, just comment down below and let me know. But for the moment, this is a very hyper-aggressive, trapless, speed-based version, and it's the one I've been having the most fun with. Of course, at this early point in time, only having the deck for a few hours, I've mainly been basing it on test hands, so the trap build is probably going to be a bit better in actual application, but this is what I'm going to be bringing you guys. Also, simply because I can't stand the deck without them. This is going to be a deck that's legal by US standards and not EU standards, simply because the deck is going to include, where is he? This card, Juragedo, which isn't actually legal in Europe until December, but I wanted to build this to kind of the best of its ability, and I feel like Juragedo is an absolute staple in the deck, so I'll talk about what I'd replace it with when we get to that, but for the moment this is going to be US legal and not Europe legal. So for let's just start off with the list. For the monsters, we're playing 3 copies of Kozmo Farm Girl. Probably the best Kozmo in the deck, simply because when she attacks and deals damage, she can actually search out any other Kozmo in the deck by paying 500 life points. And then, of course, similar to Good Witch, she can tag out. She can banish herself to special summon any Kozmo from the hand that's level 4 or higher. So any Kozmo except herself, realistically. And that just leads to really ridiculous plays with the ability to go attack for 15 and then search out your 28 beta in the form of Forerunner and then tag this out. It's pretty darn good. So we're playing the 3 Farm Girl, and then we're playing the 3 copies of Kozmo Good Witch. Kozmo Good Witch is kind of far and away worse than Farm Girl, but that doesn't mean at all that she is a bad card. Good Witch has an inbuilt Book of Moon ability in that she can pay, I believe, is it 400 life points? 500 life points to target a face-up monster your opponent controls and change it to face-down defense position. That Book of Moon ability is incredibly strong. I mean, it's entirely dependent on the monster you're facing down, but it's so good at putting some hard-to-kill attack monsters into defense. You can flip things like Thunder King face down for your search effects in the deck. It's just really versatile, having that Book of Moon inbuilt effect. And then, similar to Farm Girl, she can banish herself to special summon another Kozmo from the hand that's level 5 or higher, so it can special summon one of the ships. So we're playing these 2 lovely ladies for the, I guess, monsters. For the machines, we're playing 3 copies of Kozmo Slip Rider. Kozmo Slip Rider is the inferior cousin to Kozmo Forerunner. But Slip Rider is by no means an awful card. When it's normal summon or special summon, it can target a spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. That includes your Kozmo Town, your field spell, which we'll get to in a bit. But it can also deal with a lot of threats that the deck has trouble with, especially considering there are cards like Iron Wall that will be going in Game 2. The ability to like emergency teleport your Farm Girl and then tribute summon this in, just to be able to kill the, things like the Iron Wall and the other cards that are stopping you. It's really strong in that regard. And then, in opposition to what the humans do, I guess if you want me to refer to them that way, the machines have a different effect. The spaceships, when they die, when they're destroyed by battle or by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish them and special summon a level 4 or lower Kozmo monster from the deck. Well, at least that's what this guy can do. And then this is why we come to Forerunner, and this is why we say Forerunner is so good. Forerunner does exactly the same thing, except it can summon a level 6 or lower Kozmo. So each of these guys can summon 1 level lower, and each of these guys can summon 1 level higher. So it's pretty good. Another interesting thing about Forerunner is it has some really beefy effects. You may notice that almost everything in this deck is costing you life points as it goes through. Sorry, as you go through them all. This guy lets you gain life points during every one of your standby phases. You're going to gain 1,000 life points as a compulsory effect, and it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, which is a huge effect. Because most of the targeting effects are the removal effects like Compulse and Deprison that would cause this card not to be able to get this effect. All of the blanket destruction stuff like Torrential and Mirror Force is going to allow this card to hit Grave, which will then let it banish itself to do its special summoning shenanigans. So this card is phenomenal in the deck. I'm surprised it's only a rare because this is the powerhouse of the Kozmo deck. This puts in so much work. I mean, Farm Girl is so good to start the play, but Forerunner ends games. This card's only weakness is El Construct. Otherwise, it's really, really tough. Just especially for how cheap it is. I mean, I know there are really big monsters that can deal with this guy, but for how cheap Forerunner is, it's pretty darn good. So continuing on with the list, I'm playing 3 copies of Juraghetto. Juraghetto is really cool. It lets you make your rank 4 place. That's the first thing. It lets you push your OTKs and your damage plays home simply by being a special summonable 1700 body. And also it's so strong because it allows you to gain life points, which of course you're spending life points in the deck, so that's always good. And because of the fact that you contribute it to have a face-up monster you control gain 1000 attack, it's really, really important for getting over situations like the towers out, and just getting over certain monsters with your farm girl. Like if this is accompanying a farm girl, the farm girl's going to be beating over anything that's like less than 2,500. So he's really good. Continuing on with winning our battles, we're playing 2 copies of Honest. It's just really, really good. Again, the towers out is very, very crucial. And it's just so good at, again, helping you win those all-important first battles with the farm girl. Because when you win that first battle with the farm girl, you should realistically win as a result of its search. We're then playing 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Ghost Ogre was the hand trap that I felt worked best with this deck, simply because it's a psychic. I like Vela and I like Maxi, but this card has the most synergy with the deck because of the E-Telly, and it allows me to get into a bit of a synchro toolbox if needs be. So the couple of Ghost Ogres were a good choice. And then the last monster I'm playing in the deck is 1 copy of Gauze. If we were playing this by the European list, the Juraghettos would definitely all come out for 2 more Gauze and possibly like a Treacherous Trap Hole or something like that. I really like the monster removal in this deck because poking directly is fun. So definitely, if I was playing by the EU list, the extra deck would change. Some of the 4 toolbox would come out and some 7s would go in. And these would come out for 2 more Gauze and a trap, probably. But yeah, that's the Gauze, or like a Trag or something. But yeah, that's the complete monster lineup. It's just aggro, aggro, aggro. As I said, hyper-aggressive build, hyper-aggressive monsters, except for the Gauze, but he becomes aggressive real damn fast. So for the spells, we're playing a lot of monster removal to start off with. We're playing the 1 Raigeki and 2 copies of Dark-Hole. Cool thing about these is Raigeki just clears the way for you anyway. That's pretty nice. But Dark-Hole will trigger your Forerunner and your Slip Rider, which is absolutely phenomenal. The whole amazing thing about these 2 is the fact that if you have these on board, your opponent has like troublesome monsters, you can just summon this guy out, Dark-Hole whole board, and sorry, I was a bit distracted by coughing in the background. Dark-Hole the board, and then have your farm girl come out, and then just go ham direct, which is crazy good. Continuing on, we play a few one-offs. We play the 1 Book of Moon, the 1 Mind Control. These are, again, just kind of threat removers. The Book of Moon is in here just because, in my opinion, it's one of the most versatile one-offs in the game. So I really wanted to play it, especially in a deck that's not playing any traps. It just gives me a lot of options. And then the Mind Control is another card that just allows you to remove threats from your face. If you've got the Farm Girl, and the Mind Control, you can just move cards out of the way and attack with the Farm Girl. And sometimes that can be game-winning, or at least create a huge attrition shift for you. So the Mind Control is very, very strong in that regard. Continuing through the spells, I'm then playing double MST, just out removal really. There's just certain things that your opponent is going to be maining that will slow you down, so you just want to be able to push through those. 2 copies of Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. Again, in the European version that I'd be playing with more Gauze, this card becomes a lot more live, but a lot of the time you can find yourself with certain brick hand situations where you have Forerunners in hand and they're not very good. And this has really good synergy with the Forerunner as well, because Kozmo Town can add the banished Forerunner back to your hand. So while you're banishing the Forerunner, you're going to be able to get back. It's not exactly kind of lost forever like it is in certain other decks. So like the 7s are in certain other decks like Clyde that play this deck. And then I played 2 copies of Terraforming for the field spell in the deck because the field spell is absolutely bananas. So I really want to get to that as fast as possible. So continuing on into kind of, I guess, the more archetype-specific stuff, I'm playing 3 copies of Kozmo Town. This card is honestly one of the best field spells I've ever come across, archetype-wise, simply because it has a variety of effects, all of which are really, really strong. Once per turn, you can target a banished Kozmo monster, add it to your hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to the original level times 100. So you can add all of your Kozmo monsters self-banish. and you can add them back with Kozmo Town, which is phenomenal because it just adds to your hand advantage, adds to the cycle ability. The deck never dies. Then, once per turn, you can reveal any number of Kozmo monsters in your hand and shuffle them into the deck, then draw cards equal to the number you put back. So it's a magical mallet as well. And then, to top it all off, as if you didn't think the effects were good enough, if this card is in the field spell is destroyed by a card effect, either yours or your opponent's, you can add a Kozmo card from your deck to your hand. That includes itself. That's phenomenal, because you can just move through the deck so well with this card. It's amazing. So... Triple Kozmo Town is honestly the reason why I wanted to play the deck, because this is just ridiculous. So Kozmo Town, and it lets you cycle out your dead ships. So I'm really interested to see what next cards we will get for this archetype to support that card. Then I played 3 copies of E-Telly. We're playing 5 targets, the 2 Ghost Ogres and the 3 Farm Girl. So the teleports are just so crucial for those situations. They just get you to those cards. It's really cool that you can go like summon a guide, like summon your Good Witch, clear and like book and clear it out, and then E-Telly for your Farm Girl, and then attack directly. Have Farm Girl search a Forerunner, special the Forerunner, attack with that. You're already doing a huge amount of damage there. That's 43 already, so pretty good. So yeah, the teleports are phenomenal. And then we're playing everyone's favourite 3 copies of Upstart Goblin, because we're just trying to move through the deck as quickly as possible. So why not play 37 cards to get to the things we need sooner? So that's the complete main deck. It is 40 cards exactly, what with the Upstart Goblins and stuff. So we're going to get into the good old extra deck. The extra deck is still definitely a work in progress. There's a lot of cards that I want to play, and I'm not sure what I want to go with. So this is kind of my rough first draft. As I said before, if the Jurigados weren't in the deck, I would definitely play certain other choices, so make of that what you will, but for now this is what I would be playing with the Jurigado list. I've opted not to play any rank 3s at the moment. I need to test that, but honestly in my mind no situations were going to come up where the rank 3s were worth playing, so that was my mentality on that. So if rank 3s are needed, please do indulge me, I will have another look, but for the moment I didn't really feel the need for them. So we're playing the 1 Exciton Knight, 1 Castel, 1 Gaga Cowboy for that 800 push. We're playing hyper aggressively, so we'd hate to have to lose to not having the Cowboy. Abyss Dweller and Constella Ptolemaeus. These are all makeable using Jurigato and Honest, or Jurigato and Good Witch. So make of that what you will, but I feel these are the best 5/4s for the situations we're going to come across with this deck. In support of the Ptolemaeus, and because of the fact that we play Slip Rider, I am playing the 1 Constella Pleiades, a phenomenally strong card, and it is paired up with the Satellanite Constella Diamond. The Diamond is in here, of course, only for the Ptolemaeus, but the Pleiades is in here for the Ptolemaeus, and also making it naturally. So Pleiades is really strong. And then I'm playing a couple of 7s because they do come up in the form of 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac and 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. The Flare Metal Dragon can be really backbreaking, because if you attack with, say, I don't know, 2 Forerunners or Gore's Forerunner, you can put your opponent on an incredibly low life point count. And this card is very strong because of the fact that it can't destroy by card effects while it has Exceed Material. And while it's on the field, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you inflict 500 damage. So it's really strong. So absolutely love this. I know you won't be using its effect, especially on Red Eyes monsters, but I think how it is as a freestanding monster vastly outweighs that. So Flare Metal. And then for the Synchros, I'm playing 1 Go-Yo Guardian. I'm umming and ahhing between this being Go-Yo Guardian and High Speed Kendama. Sorry, High Speedroid Kendama. But Go-Yo Guardian is kind of winning, mainly because I couldn't find my Kendama, but also because of the fact that it's a 28 beta that can also clear certain threats out of the way and keep them, so you can make Xyz plays or Synchro plays after that. So the Go-Yo is in there. The 1 Black Rose Dragon for just the entire board outing. You never underestimate the strength of that Black Rose. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon has some really cool synergy with Kozmo Town, simply because of the fact that you can use the Ancient Fairy Dragon to pop your own Kozmo Town, gain 1,000 life points, add another Kozmo Town to your hand, and then the Kozmo Town you destroy will trigger and search you a Kozmo monster. So, you know, you're going to end up with a hand like this, which is pretty nice, and you'll be up 1,000 life points. And, of course, in the Field Spell Wars situation, if you haven't managed to search into your Kozmo Town yet, you can pop your opponent's Field Spell and search it. So, Fairy Dragon, really nice. Then I'm playing Stardust Dragon and Scrap Dragon, and then I'm playing 110 in the form of Leo, just because it may come up by having Forerunner or Gauze, or a Gauze token, and the Ghost Opus. So, that is the complete main deck. Complete deck profile, actually. I've definitely been having a good bit of fun with this deck. It's incredibly potent for how many cards it has out. It's honestly quite frightening. I mean, of course, there's still the floodgate outs to it, like things like what are we gonna call it, Iron Wall and Light Mirror and things like that. And I've definitely seen that the deck is not invincible, and it's by no means, I guess, tier 1, but it's definitely up there. Like, I wouldn't even call it tier 1.5, like it's a 1.25, 1.2 kind of thing, where it's just creeping in there. I mean, maybe you could even consider it tier 1, especially in ARG format. But otherwise, that's about everything I wanted to say on the list. I hope you've all enjoyed. As per the usual spiel, please feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if there's anything you want to say about the list. Share this with your friends if they want to play Kozmo, or if you think they need a list. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of the same. Quite a few deck profiles coming soon, guys. But as per usual, this is Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Peace out. Bye-bye.